Hey everybody! Happy Friday! It is Friday, December 2nd. We are in December, ladies and gentlemen. On December 21st, the last day of the Senate working session occurs. I hope everybody's doing well out there in the world. I hope that everybody understands that this is the most important 3-week stretch in the history of our group. Actually, we have great legislation to point to. S-2598 in the Senate, HR 9110 in the House. This legislation will return at long last after nearly 2 decades of fighting this battle. Will return the constitutional bankruptcy protections to student loans that should have never been taken away, and that the stripping of which lies at the core of the whole entire student loan problem. If you want your loans canceled, I get that. I want my loans canceled too. If you want a break on interest, I'm way past that. But maybe you want some middling solution, or maybe you've had enough and you need to file for bankruptcy, and that's just what has to happen. Well, in all of those cases, in other words, no matter what you want to see happen with your student loans, none of those things will happen unless and until the leverage, not the actual filing, but just the leverage of bankruptcy exists for us as it exists for all other loans in this country. So, hey, if you're new to the group, welcome. We are studentloanjustice.org. We are the oldest, largest, first, and really the only true grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. We've looked very carefully and very thoroughly at this problem for many, many years. And let me just tell you that we've come a very long way just in the past 2.5 years. We've gone from schlepping around the frozen tundra of Iowa, tundra may be a bad word, the frozen cornfields of Iowa, I should say, 3 years ago, let's say, and having really nothing and begging people like candidate Biden and Harris and Buttigieg and many other people, all the ones that you might imagine, very moderately for the return of bankruptcy. So we had nothing 3 years ago, guys. And here tonight, I'm here to tell you, not only do we have, and we deserve a huge amount of credit for a sitting president actually announcing a loan cancellation by executive order, which actually started, the concept started in the public zeitgeist from this group. Kid you not, we propelled that whole idea into the public conversation. But it gets back to what I said earlier. We're not going to see anything meaningful, not from Joe Biden, not from any other president, not from any other Congress, and from no one. We will not see anything good unless and until we get the threat of bankruptcy back on our side. As the founders called for, by the way, in the Constitution, out of the power to declare war, out of the power to raise an army. So we are very close, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a great bill in the Senate now, S-2598. HR 9110 in the House. These two bills will return the constitutionally enshrined right of bankruptcy to student loan borrowers, federal student loan borrowers. The bills could be passed tomorrow. Everything is lined up. All the votes are there that are needed. The legislation will pass with, I think, overwhelming bipartisan support. There's actually more Republicans co-sponsoring the Senate bill than there are Democrats, believe it or not. That's a very rare thing. And by the way, if you're new to the group, we are a fiercely nonpartisan group. We don't like either party, quite frankly, in different ways. But whatever your political stripes may be, they're very welcome here. Your comments are also very, very welcome here, and I'm going to dial them in now. If you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter live, then by all means, throw out your comments, and if I can see them, I will very happily respond to them. I don't know why I've got my smooth jazz radio voice on right now tonight. I think it was the song. I love that song. But it's wintertime here in Wisconsin, and maybe where you are. It's a cold, snowy, certainly did snow at night. And maybe if I actually spoke in a voice that really reflected how I'm feeling right now, I'd probably be screaming at you saying, "What are you doing? Get off of your ass." We need you, ladies and gentlemen. We've got over 1 million people in our group. If everybody in our group were doing our daily actions, which you can see right down there, we would be done. I mean, we would have been done years ago. But even still tonight, as I'm speaking to you, if everyone on our group were to do the daily actions every day from here through December 15th, 16th, something, we would overwhelm the phone lines, the Twitter accounts, the media of all the important people who we target. The most important people right now, by the way, are Senator Dick Durbin, Senator Chuck Schumer, Representative Nancy Pelosi, well, switch reverse, Representative Jerry Nadler, Representative David Cicilline, Representative Nancy Pelosi, and I would maybe also put Senator Elizabeth Warren in that category. And I'm not going to go off on a tangent about Elizabeth Warren again tonight. I will only say that Elizabeth Warren taught bankruptcy protections, taught bankruptcy law at Harvard University for years. We have a very long history with the senator, Professor Warren, and she, above all people, should be fighting alongside us, shoulder to shoulder, fists in the air. And she's not. And it concerns me, and it should concern you a lot. She can speak for herself. But suffice it to say, Senator Warren, at this critical time in the sunset of the congressional power of the Democratic Party, these next 21 days, it would behoove Senator Warren and the Democrats to do what they have been promising to do for decades. Decades. We were severely disappointed by the Democrats in 2008, the last time they held the trifecta of power, that is the presidency, the House, and the Senate. That was 14 years ago, back when we only owed around $600 billion in student loan debt. Well, today, add $1 trillion onto that amount, and that's roughly what the federal student loan debt tab is today. Factor in all the destroyed families, livelihoods, the suicides, the people who fled the country, the aspirations never fulfilled, the dreams killed. And I think you can start to understand about all the damage that betrayal way back in 2008 has caused the country. This weaponized lending system is poised to inflict far, far incalculably more harm on the citizens. at the end of this congressional session, as long as bankruptcy remains gone, because bankruptcy will almost certainly certainly remain gone for 2 years in this next mixed Congress, maybe 4 years, maybe 8 years, maybe 14 more years. And when they turn the lending system back on, which could happen imminently, depending on how those nonsense lawsuits go, the whole Biden cancellation lawsuit drama, I'm not even going to talk about, guys. It's a distraction. It's not important. But these loans will be turned back on. And when that happens, the collection companies are drooling. They are sharpening their knives. And if we are unable, if Congress, if the Democrats, more to the point, in Congress decide to betray us again, like they did in 2008, we will be served to the collection industry like the turkey at the Thanksgiving dinner. Those are Elizabeth Warren's words, not mine. So we've got a lot going on, guys. A couple of announcements. I want to give a great shout out to Lisa Ansell and Christina Winton in California and Arizona. They unfortunately did not make it through to the finals of that beauty contest, which I know sounds flippant, but it's actually not. They were fighting for student loan justice as a part of their contestancies, which is just fantastic. And they moved the needle for us anyhow. Just getting to the finals and 2 people fighting for student loan justice was a pretty big deal. I don't think probably any of the other people who were in that contest were fighting for anything nearly as worthy, if anything, certainly nothing nearly as worthy as this very important fight. And we are the only group in the country actually fighting this fight, ladies and gentlemen. I can't speak for the other student loan advocacy groups or whatever they call themselves. And that is shameful. They know what I know. And what I know is that this entire problem lies in the unconstitutional removal of the bankruptcy rights that the founding fathers called for in the Constitution, ahead of the power to declare war, ahead of the power to raise an army in the Constitution. So good on Christina and Lisa. We should all draw some inspiration from them. It takes a lot of guts to put your name out there and put your face out there and fight this battle. I know for some people, for me, it doesn't. I've been doing it for so long, but for many others, it's a tough thing. And you should all be very appreciative that they put themselves out there like that. You should draw inspiration from them. And, I like to, when people try to thank me and stuff, instead of thanking them, and we do thank them, we salute them. But I think that they would agree that rather than a pat on the back, they would much rather that you would thank them, show your appreciation by doing our daily actions. Our daily actions are quick, by the way. They're very easy to do. It takes less than a minute. You have to have a Twitter account, but get a Twitter account. And collectively, with the over 1 million people we have on this group, we would crush all of our opposition into fine powdered dust under our feet if all 1 million people were doing those daily actions. Think about that. And keeping in mind that this is your problem. This is your financial livelihood that hangs in the balance of how this goes. We are going to be wandering around in the wilderness, in the desert. And quite frankly, my best guess is that people like Elizabeth Warren, the day after our legislation, the day after the January 1st or 2nd, people like Elizabeth Warren, who have currently their foot on the neck of our legislation, they'll all of a sudden start singing a new tune, and they'll say, yeah, bankruptcy. We wanted bankruptcy the whole time. And we couldn't quite get it done. And we want bankruptcy now. I can guarantee you that is going to happen. And I can only hope that you people out there are wiser and smarter than that. We will not be fooled by the Democrats again. The Democrats have everything they need right now to pass this legislation. They will have none of those things. They will have no power. It will be a gridlocked Congress on January 1st. And if the Democrats, if we don't succeed, I think we will succeed, guys. I truly believe that we will. We have some great things coming up. A very strong and important film is coming out next week, which I won't say too much more about. But if you Google Lone Wolves, you'll see that it's coming out on NBC Peacock next week. That is going to give us a massive shot in the zeitgeist, which is very important for us, unfortunately. But yes, we've got a few aces up our sleeves, guys, and this battle absolutely will not be determined before December, I don't know, 19th, 20th, 21st. December 21st is the absolute most important. The final drop, that is the actual ultimate date, I think, unless we see some sort of an emergency session of Congress after December 21st. So I'm looking at your comments now. I'm going to keep it quite pithy and short tonight because I know I've been going on quite a long while on my live streams in recent days and weeks. I see Joanna's with us here from Florida. Hey, Joanna. Also, I'm thrilled to announce that every single day today, our people, our members, were the first caller on C-SPAN on Washington Journal. That again may sound a little trite or flippant. It is not. Decision makers watch C-SPAN. Kelly Kessler where is Kelly? In New Jersey, I believe. She got on. She was the first caller today, speaking with Representative Derek Kilmer and someone Timmons, South Carolina representative who has not really come up on our radar very often. But good on Kelly and good on everybody this week, like Vanjie and many other people. We have been sticking it to C-SPAN. And I'm telling you guys, congressmen, congressional staff, congresswomen, senators, even presidents, they watch C-SPAN. They do. So it's a nice little feather in our cap. And we have to continue that next week, guys. If you have not gotten in a call to C-SPAN in the morning yet, you should make it your mission to get on C-SPAN. Get your call into C-SPAN. It's not hard, by the way. Get your call into C-SPAN one morning in the next 3 weeks and call very strongly and loudly and proudly. And hopefully smartly, and keep it short. Keep it to less than 30 seconds because they will cut you off if you start to ramble. Get your comment in on C-SPAN between now and December 21st. It will help. In fact, it's probably one of the more effective, efficient uses of your time. Besides doing our daily actions, of course. So good. Oh, speaking of Vanjie, how are you, Vanjie? Vanjie's with us tonight. Hey, Lisa Ansel's with us tonight. Lisa says, we are thrilled to host Alan Collins, which is me, and a screening of Lone Wolves next Wednesday at USC. That's right. I will be in Los Angeles next week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the Stark Family Theater. And we are going to be giving a talk about the film. And it's already been written up in the Los Angeles Times. We guardedly are hoping to see some other coverage along those lines. But suffice it to say, it's going to be fun. And by the way, thanks to everyone who pitched in donation-wise. And let me just dial that in, if I can, please, quickly. Who pitched in and kicked in a donation so that we could not just augment, but actually create from scratch a wardrobe to wear at this talk that we're giving at the USC Film School next week. Thank you. It helped. We can finally wear threads that don't smell bad. Some of them did come from Walmart. I'm going to be full disclosure, but that's okay. They're new threads. They're good clothes. Got some surprisingly nice shoes today, some Skechers. So, and I think I got some skinny jeans. I haven't tried them on yet, but we'll see how that goes. thank you. And to everyone, just to finish the stupid freaking donation thing, we still need 32 people to donate $20 or more so that we can fund our operations through the end of this year. I was hoping that we could have knocked this out a couple weeks ago so I could quit talking about it, but whatever. Be that as it may, if you appreciate the work that we're doing, all that we've gotten done up to this point, all that we're doing currently, and all that we are poised, that we are this close to getting by the end of the year, please just help. It will help. So Alan J. White's with us tonight. Hi, Alan. Alan. He spells his first name the correct way. Good for you. Any plans to campaign to end the H-1B visa? That would put 16 million college grads to work. Well, that's an interesting question, Alan. Unfortunately, no. We don't view the student loan issue, and let me say, we're a fiercely nonpartisan group. We stay far away from other issues by and large. Sometimes I will complain about how the government wastes all this money in many different areas, and sometimes we wander a bit. But unfortunately, typically the student loan issue is quite stovepiped off from the H-1B visa issue. So this is really not the group for that. We're a fiercely nonpartisan group, so Alan, probably of all the names I'm looking at right now on our thing, roughly half and half are D versus R, and so I hope you can appreciate the fact that we don't like talking about abortion or gun control or immigration or any of those issues. I could go off on a tangent here, but let me just say that in my humble opinion, many of those issues, certainly the cultural issues, they are used to divide and conquer the people. The wealthy people in this country want nothing done, and so they stir the pot with this cultural animosity, and I fucking hate that. Pardon my French. So I appreciate the question, but this is probably not the group that would be addressing that particular issue, Alan. So guys, I said I was going to keep it short tonight. I hope you can appreciate that fact. Vanjian Rue says, "Oh, Ed McKinley apparently. Oh, there's Ed. Ed, our fearless co-leader, is with us tonight. Hi Ed, higher Ed, Department of Ed is in office. Ed will be with you. He very fearlessly and stalwartly does our live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He actually lives in Boston, backyard of Elizabeth Warren. Speaking of Elizabeth Warren, hey, Michael Cheney's with us tonight. Michael, truck driver from Ohio. I don't think Michael's a Democrat. I'm just going to go out on a limb there and say that. Nancy Pelosi staff cut me off and put me on voicemail. I think I pissed them off. Michael, I don't mind pissing these people off one bit, not a bit. I used to be polite the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years that I was doing this. I was very cordial and polite, and I spoke with the voice I'm speaking with now. I don't know why. The polite guy never gets anything. You can be polite all the way to the end of eternity. And, I'm all for polity, but unfortunately, guys, we live in a world where you've got to fight. And don't worry about offending these people. These people have offended us. These people have had their foot on our necks for years and decades. And quite frankly, you can hear my voice raising if I was speaking with my true voice. It wouldn't be a very pleasant live stream. So let me just say, keep calling. Don't worry about offending these people. Fight for yourself. Fight for the 44 million people in the country who we are fighting for and who are losing sleep over their student loans like we are. 44 out of the 55 million, that's like 80+%, 85%. Fight for them, fight for the Constitution, knowing that the founders have our backs and we don't have to put up with this big government college enriching monster of an unconstitutional lending system. Quite frankly, I think the founding fathers are looking down on us and asking themselves how have our citizens become so weak? This is a fight, ladies and gentlemen. You can't politely talk your way to the solution to this problem. It just does not work. Believe me, I tried for many years. So don't worry about getting your knuckles a little dirty. Don't worry about offending a few people. Most of the people on this group, by the way, certainly everybody I'm looking at now, are probably over the age of 40, if not over the age of 50, if not over the age of 60, if not 70 years old or older. And the people answering the phones in those congressional offices are, to my way of thinking, kids. They're kids. Don't let yourself be pushed around by a kid, I say. Age has privileges, and I take the privilege of talking down to kids because they don't know what I know. They don't know what you know, and don't let yourselves be don't let any kid throw little kid shade on you. Yes, I am looking greatly forward to my years as an honorary old man at some point. But just to finish the night out, let me just say, guys, you should have a lot of hope and you should be greatly inspired. Quite frankly, everyone on our group should be jacked and gunning and rearing to go on this battle because we are closer than we've ever been. And we've got a few things on our side this time that haven't happened in the past. We've got some media backing now, which is very rare for us. And don't get me wrong, the media has been our friend since going back to the days when we and Elizabeth Warren, interestingly, were featured top story on 60 Minutes. But that's gone sort of stale or gone away for us certainly in recent years. The media has become terrible in the past 10 to 15 years, but I'm very happy to say, knock on wood, that we've got some things going for us on that front. Everything is lined up. The only question is whether and how hard the people on this group, none of the other groups, this group right here, how hard they fight. So I am amazed at the people out there who are doing this fight, Vanjie and Michael and Ed and everybody else, Joanna. But it's the people who are sitting there on the sidelines eating popcorn, the cynics out there who are too lazy to act. And by the way, cynicism is definitely the refuge of the lazy and the cowards. It's easy to sit back and go, oh, they'll never do anything. And then you don't do anything. That's lazy. And that's not courageous at all. And I do not applaud you. I applaud everybody else who's been fighting this fight. And you know as well as I do that it feels good to fight this fight because we win all of our battles. And we're doing the right thing by ourselves, the right thing by our people, the right thing by the country, the right thing by the Constitution and the will of the founding fathers. So no matter what the haters might say, pay your loan, watch my tax dollar, pay your loan. Don't bite on that. Those people are idiots and they ought to be ashamed of themselves for fighting for this catastrophically failed unconstitutional lending system. And if you want to know enough to be very dangerous, go to studentloanjustice.medium.com and look at the headlines of all those research articles, opinion pieces, and you will find answers to every question, every criticism that the haters might want to wag their finger at us with. Read our most recent 5 or 6 articles, and you will be a very fierce, fit, and feared and fiery student loan justice warrior. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend. Things are happening very fast in this battle, and I will I will certainly jump in with a live stream, an impromptu live stream as is needed going forward. I probably will, because as I said, things are happening very, very fast. Shoes are dropping every day now, even on the weekends. So I hope that you'll pick up what I'm laying down here and just help us in this historically important fight, the most important 3 weeks in the nearly 18-year history of this group lie before us. So the stakes are high. The battle is worthy, and you are worthy, and you need to help. And you're not better than us, by the way. It feels good to fight. It's cathartic in my view. I sleep like a baby at night. I think most people will agree with me. Let's get this done. And do a month's worth of our daily actions if you've never done a daily action. Oh, and just one last answer to Vanjie's question. You can call C-SPAN once a month, typically. I've called up to twice in a month in the past, but I think they check on that stuff. And I know that we're on their radar now. I know they're like, what's going on with the student loan stuff? So, so certainly you can call in once a month. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Check back on this group often. We're going to need you. In fact, we need you right now. In fact, I would hope that you'll do today's daily action before you do anything else. Okay, guys, good luck. Godspeed. I'll see you on Sunday night. God bless everyone.